Hello, Semeno guys. So there's a question asking about the Cyrillic. So the question is why Mongolia is going back to the traditional writing system after being using the Cyrillic for so many years. And he is asking what's the problem with Cyrillic. I think this is a $1 million question. So here I only can share what I'm thinking. If I'm saying something wrong, please comment. So first of all, this is not a technical problem. From the technical perspective, I believe the Cyrillic system is much easier than the classical Mongolian script or traditional Mongolian script, especially current internet technological circumstances. Because if you are writing on computer or phone or using the internet, doing Google research, the Cyrillic is much convenient than the traditional Mongolian script. So I think this question should be directed to the historical, culture, and political perspective. So let's talk about the historical perspective. The traditional Mongolian script is coined in 13th century and then still being used continuously until now. It's more than 800 years, have more than 800 years history. And then in Mongolia, this traditional Mongolian script is being replaced during the Soviet Union era. I think it's in late 1940s. So soon after the Soviet Union collapsed, and then the People's Republic of Mongolia transited to the democratic Mongolia. So they decided to get him back or rejoin into their history. It's the Mongolian history, all right? So this writing system is one of the very important part of the Mongolian history. So to re-promoting or regaining this traditional Mongolian script for Mongolia is kind of reconnecting to their past as well as looking for the future. So the history is also connected to Mongolian people's identity as a Mongolian. So by promoting, learning, and using this traditional Mongolian script, that is a kind of everyday action as being a Mongolian. So you can't get the same feeling by using the Cyrillic or some other writing system. So this is history and culture. It's both of them are connecting to the Mongolian identity. What is the Mongolia? So I think that's why in Mongolia they're doing this revival of Mongolian script. My understanding, there is a huge debate even within the Mongolia, within the parliament. Some people said we should not, or Mongolia should not go back to the traditional Mongolian writing script because it is, technically speaking, not that convenient, or if you want to learn in the modern science or other subject, using the Cyrillic system is much easier than using the traditional Mongolian script. So there's a huge debate. And then I think the Mongolia is not going to replace the Cyrillic writing system by the traditional Mongolian script. What they're doing is to promoting the traditional Mongolian script and then trying to build up a dual system, so both Cyrillic and the traditional Mongolian. You can see these days a lot of governmental news report or programs, they have both Cyrillic and the traditional Mongolian script. And then more and more young generation, they learn the traditional script at the school. Okay, so lastly, since I'm a Mongolian from Inner Mongolia, so I would like to share what I'm thinking about this huge change in the writing system happened in Mongolia. So for me or for people in Inner Mongolia, the traditional Mongolian script is much easier because we don't need to learn new things, right? yeah, so we can share the traditional Mongolian script without that much effort. But the Cyrillic we have to learn. So in this perspective, we are very happy that happy to see the Mongolia promoting the traditional Mongolian script. So we have more kind of sense of shared identity with the Mongolia and Inner Mongolia. This is one point. So finally, I'd like to share my thought, or I'd like to clarify that I'm as a Inner Mongolian people teaching or learning, promoting the traditional Mongolian script, have a totally different context than the Mongolian people in Outer Mongolia. So Inner Mongolian people continuously using this script for more than 800 years. And then what we are facing is to, let's say, to keep this culture continuity. So please don't mix these two, because we are learning, studying, using the same writing system, the traditional Mongolian system, but Inner Mongolia and Outer Mongolia both of them have their different context. Very lastly, thank you very much for asking these types of questions. Very interesting. So any question related to Mongolian language is welcome. If you ask something very political or historical, probably I can't answer you properly. And then, of course, please don't ask me how old are you or something totally irrelevant or too personal. I'm not going to answer you. Okay, bye.